It's the kind of prime-time exposure any politician would die for. We don't know if the Chief Whip watched BBC One on Friday night. If he did, he probably wasn't laughing.
Victoria asked me if I could give her any tips. I said, of course I can, my dear. Now, look, if the BBC security man asks you to get off your bike and come in through the side gate, whatever you do, don't call him a pleb.
Now, in this long-running series, it could soon be crunch time for Andrew Mitchell. He's got the dance floor to himself and 3 members of the Police Federation in the judges' chairs. Mr Mitchell will sit down with those police representatives here at his local constituency office in what's being called a clear the air meeting. Get this one right and he might be able to draw a line under the affair. Lose his rag this time though, and his political future might not be looking too healthy. This is the row that refuses to die down. It all started 3 weeks ago when a clearly angry Chief Whip let loose at police manning the Downing Street security gates as he left on his bicycle. The official police log claims he used the words effing plebs. He's always denied using that precise language.
It had been the end of a long and extremely frustrating day. Not that that is any excuse at all for what happened. I didn't show the police the amount of respect I should have done. We should all respect the police. They do an incredibly difficult job. I've apologised to the police. I've apologised to the police officer involved on the gate, and he's accepted my apology. And I hope very much that we can draw a line under it there.
Not much chance of that. He was forced to stay away from his own party conference last week. Local police, though, did turn up wearing pleb-themed T-shirts. Despite the policeman involved accepting his apology, many other rank-and-file officers remain upset. Their anger now seems to be shifting away from any words he might have used to a potentially more damaging allegation that he seems to be accusing police officers of lying. This local detective sergeant will play the role of lead judge in the meeting tomorrow.
It's a very simple question. What did you say? That's all. That's what we want to know. And if he did say those words, his apology can stand. He can apologise again. The officers have accepted the apology anyway. But that's not where we're at now. We're not really that bothered about the words. The issue is honesty and integrity and who is telling the truth here.
The Conservative Party, meanwhile, will be hoping the public is starting to get tired of this row. One member of the government told Newsnight that out of his constituency of 80,000 people, he's received just 1 email about it. The public just aren't interested, he told us. He's apologised, it's been accepted, it's time to move on. Even the police admit there is another agenda here, though. Any criticism of Mr Mitchell feeds into wider anger about cuts to police budgets, cuts many officers feel are unfair.
This thing would have blown over if he'd have answered all the questions in the first place, to be perfectly honest. That's what would have happened, But again, I bring it back to the fact that the attitude of Mr Mitchell may be reflective of the general attitude of the Conservative Party towards police and police officers.
But Mr Mitchell's position does now seem to be under serious pressure. Several Tory MPs are said to have written to the chairman of the Backbench 1922 committee asking why he is still in a job. Like Strictly, it's not just the judge's vote that counts, though. It's the public's vote too. Are the police right to keep pursuing it?
Oh no, I mean, it's water under the bridge now. Forget it. It's happened, it's gone.
I think they should let this one go. Myself, it's not a really, in my eyes, it's not a big issue what he's supposed to have called them.
But how would you like to be called a pleb?
Well, I'll probably just brush it off. I could be called a lot worse, so...
As a position of power in the police, I think it is sort of disrespectful and so on, so I think they do have a right to pursue it if their case is valid.
If I'm being asked whether or not he can survive, I think he can. I doubt if the police are going to come out and say that suddenly they're completely satisfied with the situation, so there'll clearly be an attempt to keep it all going. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think he can survive, though it's clearly a very difficult situation for him.
It could all come down to one performance then for Mr Mitchell tomorrow. A poor showing and he might have a lot more time on his hands for Friday night TV.
I come here on roller skates.
And Brucey's gags.